Hi everybody, Candace here with the shop team. My partners in crime, Alex and Jason, are out right now servicing some of our clients. So I thought this was a very good time for me to spend a couple of hours on my own to really think about the message I wanted to put into this video to you today. Now, last week's announcement took a lot to digest, which is why it's taking me a couple days to get to this video. The largest interest rate hike by the Bank of Canada that we've ever seen in decades hit us all in the face last week. Even though we all knew it was coming, 100 basis points was a really big deal. It especially was a really big deal for those of us in variable rate mortgages. What does it mean? It means that all of us on variable rates that are not static means our mortgage payments have gone up for the third time since April when this all started. And we're likely to experience another raise in September, and fingers crossed the Bank of Canada gives us a break and does not raise these again in December. But we don't know, and we won't know that for months to come. Now, we all know that this is to curb inflation. We all know that. And we do need to manage inflation naturally because the cost of our goods and services has gone through the roof and we can't continue like this. So what does it mean when this is all happening? It means that all of us in variable rate mortgages or those who are servicing debt on line of credits now have to curb our spending habits. So that's what Jason and I are doing. We look at it like this. Yes, we can now spend less money on some of the stuff we love, traveling, doing so much clothing shopping, which we all know I love, shoe shopping. Yes, we have to curb those habits. But the positive news is that this money is going directly into the largest asset that we all own, our homes. So as much as it hurts right now, it is going into your largest asset class, which is never a bad thing. So that's the way we look at it from a positive perspective. Now, I know that for those of us as homeowners, we are worried about what the news is telling us. These sensationalized headlines that tell us that the market's going to come crashing down and we're going to lose 50, 60, 70% of the value of our homes. But what they're not talking about are the 4 factors that affect the housing market. And when you look at those factors, I hope it really makes you feel better because I know it does for me. Now listen, I don't know how much the housing market's going to go down. Do I think it's going to go down another 10, maybe 15 or 20%? Maybe. But do I think we're going to crash and see a hard landing at 70, 80% like some of the news is telling us? No, I don't think so. And here are the 4 factors as to why we don't think this is going to happen. First, we all own an incredible amount of equity in our homes. For those of us who have owned homes here in Toronto for the last 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we're sitting on a massive amount of equity because we've experienced exponential growth. So yes, does it hurt to lose a bit of that equity over this time? Sure. But does it mean we're going to lose it all? Probably not. And the beauty is that if you need to weather this storm financially while these interest rates are going up and inflation is sky high, you have equity you could pull on in your house. So this housing and this equity that we have right now is actually playing in our favor. And the only way we're going to crash the market in this perspective is that all of us put our houses on the market at the same time and flood the market with inventory. Is that going to happen? Never. So it's unlikely we're going to see the massive crash that they're talking about due to another factor. Number 2 is our unemployment rate. Our unemployment rate is the lowest we've ever seen, which means we have tons of people in jobs who are able to service their debt. This is great news, and hopefully we see this continue and this unemployment level stay as low as it is, if not lower. That would be really great. The third factor is the good old mortgage stress test. Now, a couple years back when we were experiencing the lowest rates we've ever seen, the bank put in the mortgage stress test. Now, at the time, people didn't like it very much, but the bank was actually preparing us for this very moment, for when the interest rates rise, to make sure that Canadians can still pay their mortgage and service that debt. Thank God that they put this in place, because here we are. When people had 2%, 2.5% interest rates, they were being qualified at 4.5%, which means today they can still service that debt and afford it. So now we're going, thank you so much for putting those stress tests in, because it is allowing all of us to survive today. The fourth factor that we have to consider is immigration. We have over 400,000 people a year coming into our country. Those people need somewhere to live. They're either going to rent or buy. And considering that we have a supply issue, For that demand to reach our supply is going to take time. We're likely going to be low on supply for quite some time. COVID most certainly contributed to that. So these 4 factors, considering all 4, really feed and control our housing market. It's unlikely to see this massive crash landing that the news is talking about, because they're not actually directly talking about these factors, and we have to consider those. So when you're reading the news and the headlines seem a little scary, remember all these factors. And remember that as homeowners, we are incredibly lucky not only to be living in one of the strongest markets in Canada, but one of the ones that experience the most growth. So if we see a little bit of that drop, that's okay. We're still sitting on exponential amounts of money within our homes, thankfully. Now, after that news was given to us last week, I'd be lying to say if it wasn't margarita time. And for those of you who know me really well, my most favorite drink for the summer is margaritas. So we thought, you know what? If I could use a margarita, you probably could too. So we decided to give away 6 gift cards for $50 each to our most favorite Mexican restaurant in Toronto called Añejo. They have a location at King West, and they're opening a location around the corner at the Shops at Don Mills, which I'm super excited about. And it might get dangerous in there because after work margaritas for the summer and patio living, that might have to happen once in a blue moon. So 6 gift cards, $50. All you have to do is respond to this email and tell us what you are doing to take a little time off this summer and enjoy some relaxation time with your friends, your family, your loved ones, to enjoy this beautiful summer weather. Jason and I are actually really excited. We have rented an RV and we are going to tour around Ontario and go visit some family and do the RV lifestyle, which we're really excited about. So tell us what you're doing. And in the meantime, please know, always, if you guys need some specific information about real estate, about your neighborhood, when you think you should buy, when you think you should sell, we're here. Even if you just want to have a conversation, and that's all it is, we really love to help, and we love to hear from you. So please don't be shy. Reach out to us anytime. We are here to weather the storm with you. We hope you have the most amazing summer. Please make sure you take some time to yourself, and we can't wait to see you soon. Thanks so much for joining me.